What is up, guys? I'm your friendly neighborhood web war fanatic, and I saw this really cool post on Reddit here, so I wanted to show you guys this. So I want to give huge shots to Word Unloaded here, who created these Redcon cards for Marvel Champions heroes. Like they're supposed to be like fixes for like certain heroes that some people in the community have like complaints about. And then they made these cards here. This is entirely homebrewed. So yeah, credits to them, and I believe that they tested these cards as well, and they have like a Google Drive link here in the post. I'll put like the link to this Reddit post in the description of this video for you guys to see. But yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into here. I'm gonna react to these cards. I haven't looked at all of them yet here, and I haven't like really analyzed them either. So yeah, let's see these cards. I'm super excited for it. I heard good things. So this one here is for Adam Warlock. So it's called Guiding Light. It's upgrade. It comes in. It's permanent. It's a part of the setup here, and it's a retcon card, which is like a new like keyword that he created here, where you treat the rest of this card's text box as part of your identity's text box. So basically, you just have this card, and it's supposed to like fix the hero. Like for example, I know that the homebrew community often creates like one card like a single upgrade to help improve Hulk, because he's a hero that a lot of people think that need fixing. So this is the retcon card here, and then a hero force response. After you use Adam Warlock's Battle Mage ability, if you discard a pool pink card, ready a friendly character. And immediately, this is definitely something that I like here for Adam Warlock. If you guys do not know how Adam Warlock works, I do have Hall of Heroes put up here. Let's go to Adam Warlock's kit over here. So basically, Adam Warlock, he has his main ability here, which is Battle Mage. That's his hero ability. And as an action, you can discard one card from your hand, then limit once per phase. If that card is, aggression, you do 2 damage to enemy. Justice, take off 2 threat. Protection, heal 1 damage from ally. Leadership, you get a hero to have +1 to all their stats, right? So this came out before the pool aspect was introduced to the game. So if you discard a pool aspect card from your hand, that's still an aspect card, but you don't get a benefit. You can still do it though, right? So Adam Warlock with Battle Mage, I love playing him in the pool aspect. So you discard one card from your hand. It doesn't have to be an aspect card. You can still discard like, like a pool aspect card, a basic card, or like one of your own identity specific cards. And you still trigger Battle Mage, which will still proc all the Mystic Senses right here. But you get an additional benefit if it is an aspect card, like one of these 4 aspects here, right? So since I love Adam Warlock and pool, I think it makes sense for him to have like this retcon that also has the pool aspect as a part of it. So if you discard a pool aspect card with Battle Mage, you can ready a friendly character. Okay, that's actually super powerful, right? Like getting a ready, I feel like it's way more value than any of these other ones here, right? Like 2 damage, 2 threat, 1 heal. You know what? No. I think that's actually quite balanced. Particularly for Adam Warlock. I think Adam Warlock, with the ready, it's a little bit weaker than like with other heroes. Because if you're focusing on readying builds, you're not focusing as much on the Battle Mage here, which is what Adam Warlock really wants to do. So I actually think that that's actually a really neat retcon here for Adam Warlock. I think it's very balanced here as well. It's useful. It can be powerful. It's not like broken or anything like that. Ready a friendly character so you can ready up Adam Warlock. If you ready him up, I mean, he only has 1 thwart, 1 attack. It's not that great. If you guys know me from my playthroughs, I almost never play Warlock's Cape. I think that this is the worst card in his kit because you get the ready from this. And I don't really care about readying Adam Warlock because I don't feel like that his basic activations are that valuable. So like to have that effect, but then you can ready up allies, which is also very cool, right? Because you can ready up any friendly character. But obviously, if you ready up an ally and then they activate again, they'll usually take consequential damage. But it kind of fits the pool aspect theme because those pool aspect allies don't take consequential damage. But at the same time, they have like a negative, side effect, like amplify icon, a hazard icon, and so on, right? So that's a really cool card. I'm really excited to see the rest of this list here. Okay, let's jump over to the next card that this player created. It's called Drax's Guide. Okay, so another permanent setup retcon upgrade. I think that you kind of have to have like a permanent setup upgrade to really have the card impact the character, right? And it's a neat thing I just noticed here. It's 16 out of 15 cards. That's really cool. So yeah, I mean, you can have this in play when you play Drax. And Drax is definitely another one of those heroes that I really think needs like a buff. I don't think that Adam Warlock needs a buff. I feel like that he's actually a very powerful hero, pretty underrated. I think that he works well the way he is, but having this with the pool aspect makes him feel a little bit more complete, and like it just feels better to like not have the pool aspect feel like it's missing something with his Battle Mage ability. So I like this with Warlock. Let's see what Drax here is. It's hero action. So you can trigger this action here if you're in hero form during the player phase, right? Exhaust Drax's Gal. The villain attacks you. Okay, so you force the villain to attack you. That's pretty thematic to Drax to have that like on demand. Other characters cannot defend against the attack. So I mean Drax usually doesn't want other characters to defend against that anyways. So it makes sense. That's not really like a drawback, which I think is good and thematic for Drax. Discard any number of cards from your hand, then draw the same number of cards you discarded. Discard any number of cards from your hand. So you get to like choose this card, then draw back the same amount. Okay. I mean, I feel like it's useful. You can like dig through your deck for certain cards. So I think that that is a powerful ability. But at the same time, you have to take a villain attack. But I mean, let's look at Drax's kit over here. Drax is a guardian, so it's just right over here. Okay, so the reason why Drax wants to get attacked is with his response in hero form. After the villain attacks Drax, place one vengeance counter here to a max of 3 if you cannot draw one card. And this only procs after the villain attacks Drax. So you block from the ally, this response will not trigger because the villain never attacked Drax. It attacked like Mantis, for example, if you blocked with Mantis. So Drax has to take hits to the face. So I think that that works well with this because other characters cannot defend. That's fine. You don't want other characters to defend anyways. So basically, you can force the villain to attack you. And when you get the vengeance counters, you get +1 attack for each vengeance counter on Drax. And all of Drax's cards work around having those vengeance counters, right? Like intimidation here, remove X threat from a scheme. X is equal to your attack. And your attack gets buffed up with each vengeance counter. Only a base attack of 1 here, but you get +1 for each one of those counters, right? And then same for like Knife Leap, reduce the cost to play this card by 1 for each vengeance counter. When you would take an amount of damage with parry, prevent X of damage, where X is equal to double your attack. So like that prevents damage. Actually, I'm liking the card a lot more, this upgrade here, especially with parry. Because when I'm playing Drax, I often draw a parry, during the player phase for like whatever reason. And when I have a parry in my hand, I have to save it for the encounter phase because I'm going to get attacked and I want to play it there. If I draw double parries, feels bad. So if I have this on demand, I can trigger this during the player phase, have the villain attack me, and then play my parry, get my vengeance counter, be able to build up a little bit more here more quickly and on demand whenever I want to. So that's pretty useful. It's kind of like a Fight Me Coward, right? Because Fight Me Coward, 0 cost event, hero action, ready up your hero, and draw a card, the villain attacks you, right? So villain attacks you, and you get like this effect here. I think Fight Me Coward is more powerful, right, than the Drax's Gal here. So this card, I think, was very balanced. I almost feel like it can be a little bit underwhelming, but I think that's good, right? Because cards that aren't outright powerful, I think that every card you can kind of abuse if you really like find a way. So I'm sure there's ways that I'm not seeing here to really abuse this card. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a fine addition here for Drax. It will help him, definitely help him to have the on-demand, like force villain to attack and help you like cycle through your deck more, right? Because when I'm playing Drax, if I don't have the right cards, right, like if I need to remove threat and I don't have intimidation, like I am screwed. If I like, really, really need like a parry, like being able to dig deeper with this hero action to discard cards and then draw back. I think that that's also very nice here for Drax. So I definitely appreciate this card. I think it works well with Drax. Okay, but I do like the Warlock card more so far. But let's go ahead and take a look at the next card here. So this is a Groot card. Okay, it's an upgrade here. Permanent setup, retcon. Response. After you place a growth counter on Groot, place one growth counter here. Ooh, I wonder if you can choose to remove counters here instead of from Groot. I don't know. Okay, so after you place a growth counter on Groot, you place one on here to a max of 5. Okay, so you have only up to 5 cards here. So you can basically get double counters, right? Because after you place a growth counter on Groot, well, I'm a little bit confused by the wording here. So if I place 2 growth counters on Groot with like fruition, do I get 2 on here as well in that one instance? After you place a growth counter on Groot, I'm not sure how that works. Hero action, exhaust this card. Move as many growth counters as possible to Groot from here to a max of 10 to Groot from here. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is to a max instance of 5. If you somehow get like 5 at once, which I'm not sure Groot can do that. But after you place a Groot, so if you get like 2 Groot counters from like fruition, let's jump to Groot, guys. Where is Groot here? From Galaxy's Most Wanted. Okay, so Groot here can have up to 10 growth counters on him. If you like use like fruition here, you place 2 growth counters on Groot. then you also place 2 growth counters on the explosive growth here. Then you can exhaust this card and move as many growth counters as possible to Groot from here. No. I think I read it wrong. Okay, hold on. Move as many so I feel like the max of 10 is gotta be like Groot's max of 10, right? I feel like that's how that works. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna forget about the max here. Let me just figure out how this works with Groot, because I'm not entirely sure about the wording with that. So if Groot has like an extra hold here for growth counters, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice because you can farm up growth counters on here. Maybe it's only a max of 5 on this card, but to have that like extra like little like box, I imagine it's like right here, I guess. Like there's a little box here that you have the growth counters on, and then the big thing with Groot is he has a force interrupt where you have to remove growth counters whenever he would take any amount of damage, right? So like even if you want to actually just take damage and keep the counters, you're not able to do that. You have to remove the counters, and then you can't play like your powerful events here because this removes threat from a scheme equal to the number of growth counters on Groot. And if you just have to take damage there, lose all your growth counters, and this does like 0 threat removal, right? Same with his damage dealing attack event right here. So I think it's really nice to have like this extra card here to on demand move the growth counters to Groot. So even if you lose the counters on him, you can still proc these events here. So I'm pretty sure after reading this through, I feel like this right here, the max of 10 applies to Groot, and this card can only have a max of 5. So I feel like that's how this card works. That's pretty cool. I like this card a lot also. I'm not the biggest fan of the wording here. I think it's a little bit confusing, but that just may be for me personally. Trying to understand how this works, but this is a pretty cool card. Yeah, I think that this is a nice fix here for Groot. I think that Groot definitely wants a card like that. Like this is my biggest complaint with Groot, like having this forced interrupt. I would like this a lot more if it was just an interrupt that's not forced. But this gives you the option here that even if you have to trade the forced interrupt and remove the counters, you can still refill those counters with this like extra upgrade and move them over to Groot. So that is a pretty cool upgrade here for Groot. Let's move on to the next card here. And this is Hawkeye. Please tell me it does something with like the arrows, right? Permanent retcon. Is it? No, the setup is here. Okay, yeah, I didn't see the setup word. Okay, so setup. Search your deck and discard power for Hawkeye's quiver. Add to your hand. Okay, so you get like a +1 start. Definitely not overpowered. I think Hawkeye definitely needs that. That's useful to like get his quiver right away, and it makes sense. It's thematic to him. Why is he starting the game without the quiver anyways, right? Like Hawkeye's like, I'm gonna fight Thanos, but like let me like look for the quiver like after the fight begins, right? It makes sense that Hawkeye prepped and had his quiver already. So that makes sense. What's the RTU action here? Shuffle 1 area event from your discard pile into your deck. Limit once per round. Okay. Yeah, this is a very balanced card. I think that it definitely is going to make Hawkeye more smooth because his quiver can hit more often. But this is only RTU action. I think it's the mag to be an alter ego. He has a really big start, which is really cool. Let's jump over to Hawkeye's kit here. He's from the Rise of Red Skull. So Hawkeye here, weapon of choice is action in Alter Ego. He has a hand size of 6. Spend 1 resource of any type. Search your deck and discard pile for Hawkeye's bow. Add to your hand. Shuffle your deck. So like you can get the bow, add to your hand, and still have a hand size of 6. But in the quiver, we also want that. And sometimes it's at the bottom of your deck, which stinks because it's like the main thing that you really need to like get going with Hawkeye to like tuck area events underneath the quiver. And then like if you guys have watched my playthroughs, I always complain whenever I play Hawkeye because I've never played a game Hawkeye where I don't whiff several times with the quiver here. So yeah, this quiver, if you search the top 5 cards of your deck for an area event, attach a face to its card, and then you search the top 5 cards, there is no area event, then you can't attach it. And there are no arrow aspect cards, so you can't increase the amount of arrow events that you have. So it's nice to be able to shuffle those area events back in, only as an RTU action, so you can increase the chance of hitting with the quiver here. This is a hero action though, and this is an RTU action, so this only works like smoothly if you're in Alter Ego first. You shuffle the quiver, the arrow event in, flip out the hero form, use the quiver, grab the arrow event, put it in the quiver, right? That's very thematic as well. If you start off the turn in hero form, and you have to use the quiver first, you might whiff, flip down to Alter Ego, use the mission prep, put the arrow back into your deck, and then you won't be able to use the quiver, that round anymore. But next round you can use it again. Then you have 2 arrows hopefully in your deck, and then or at least 2, I mean, and then you can use the quiver to try to search for it. So yeah, neat card here. Definitely good for Hawkeye, makes him more smooth, I think, but I think he needs a little bit more. I would prefer to see like more power here with the fix here for Hawkeye, but definitely still cool to see. Next card here is Hulk. Of course, we have to have a Hulk Retcon card, right? The Incredible Hulk, permanent setup Retcon. While in alter ego form, you get +1 hand size. I love that. That is awesome. I love the extra hand size here. I think that Bruce Banner is one of the few heroes that I would not mind seeing a 7-card hand size for. Maybe the only hero that... Whoa, no, wait. It's not even 7. I forgot. Bruce Banner has a 5-card hand size. Okay, let me jump back over to him. I have talked about how I wanted it to have Bruce to have like a 7-card hand size. So he only has a 5-card hand size here. So yeah, giving him the +1 hand size, that's great. Up to 6 cards. I don't even think giving him +2 here would be overpowered, like a 7-card hand size for Bruce. Because like, he's a genius. And then like for the poor economy that Hulk has here, I think that having like extra economy for Bruce would be nice. Especially because this ability here doesn't like add resources for you, right? Like your like effective resource is the same after using experimental research. You draw a card, discard a card, right? Like Peter Parker Spider-Man has a hand size of 6, and then Scientist gives him 1 extra resource, so 7 resources there. Captain Marvel, draw a card with Commander, 7 cards in hand, 7 resources, right? So I wouldn't mind giving him the 7-card hand size there. So he gets +1 hand size going up to 6 here. And then while in hero form, each rage... Oh, okay, it's the rage counter thing here. So while in hero form, each rage counter here can be spent as a physical resource. And after you take any amount of damage, you place 1 rage counter here. Yeah, that is huge shouts to the Bard of Brawls, who was the first person that I saw talk about like rage counters here, like the original fix for Hulk. I actually played a game with that, on my channel, and I thought that that was a very neat house rule for Hulk. So this kind of incorporates all of that, and even better, it also keeps enraged here as a force interrupt when your turn ends, discard your hand. So you still have this negative hero ability, which is thematic for Hulk, but you also get like those rage counters. It's effective like Spider-Ham's hero ability with his tune counters, but instead of wild resources, you get like the physical resources there. So yeah, this is a very nice card for Hulk. I definitely like this a lot. I don't think I have any complaints about it. This is probably my favorite one so far. I really like this one for Hulk. Next we have for Rocket Raccoon. Okay, hey guys, it's Future Web Word Fanatic here, and I'm editing this video, and I just realized that I read the armor pack generator entirely wrong throughout the video. So for here, the effect is choose a friendly character until the end of the round. If that character would take non-consequential damage, reduce it by 1. I read it as if that character would take consequential damage, reduce it by 1. So basically this only worked for allies the way that I read it, and that is incorrect. So let me see what I think about this card now actually knowing what it does. So you exhaust the armor pack generator, remove a counter, choose any friendly character including your hero or another hero, or it could be an ally, right? And then until the end of the round, if the character would take non-consequential damage, reduce it by 1. You have to exhaust the armor pack in order to do that. So it's usually just going to be once per turn, but you can reload it, right? Let's check over here on Hall of Heroes. And yeah, reload, ready each tech upgrade you control. And this is a tech upgrade that you control. And this card does not have the retcon word. I also realized that while I was editing the video. So this card's a little bit different than the other ones because it doesn't have the retcon keyword, so it's not a part of the hero ability of Rocket. It's just a separate, tech upgrade that you can ready up with reload. So you can use this effect more than once if you add another charge counter on it, and there's no limit of charge counters. So if you use your battery pack right here, 1 cost upgrade, Rocket Raccoon has 2 copies of this card in his kit. You can move charge counters from this card over to the armor pack generator. But once it's on this card here, you can't move it back elsewhere, right? It just kind of like gets used from this card, but a very powerful ability that really increases Rocket's survivability. So that's actually pretty nice. So until the end of the round, so that means during the player phase and during the villain phase, when that character would take any amount of damage, reduce it by 1. Guys, if you're like facing like Ultron, I mean, this makes Rocket even better against Ultron, right? Because if you have like 5 drone minions out, they all attack you. That villain phase is still part of the round. Well, they all have 1 attack. They all do 0 damage because you're reducing the amount of damage by 1 for each instance, right? So this could prevent like a lot of damage in a turn. Like if you take a lot of different instances, this is very good against Retaliate, right? You're basically bypassing Retaliate for an entire round. Each time you would take that Retaliate damage, you can reduce it by 1. So yeah, I mean, this is a really neat card. I like the lore and the theme of it with the armor pack generator here. So yeah, very, very cool. Like a little bit of like a buff for Rocket, for any friend, or like for an ally as well. But they will take consequential damage if it is an ally. I read that wrong. But yeah, this is a neat card here for sure. Next card here is She-Hulk. Okay, I'm excited to see what the She-Hulk one is here. So Anger Under Control. Permanent set of Recon. Response, after you take any amount of damage, put a rage counter here. Okay, I like the rage counters. So max is just 1 though. Resource, remove 1 rage counter here. Generate a mental resource, but only for a She-Hulk card. After you take any amount of damage. Okay, so it's kind of like a nerfed rage counter mechanic for Hulk. So let's jump over to She-Hulk. She's in the core set here. So just 1 card. Okay, I mean, the immediate thing that jumps to mind is going to be the superhuman lot of vision right here, right? Because exhaust this, spend a mental resource, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Well, you can always use the mental resource here from Anger Under Control. After you take any amount of damage. Okay, Focus Rage pops like the heck off with this. Oh, no, this is OP, guys. Hold up. After you take any amount of damage, put a rage counter here. Without exhausting, remove a rage counter from here, generate a mental resource for She-Hulk. So if you focus rage, where is focus rage? Focus rage, exhaust this card, take a damage, draw a card. You draw a card. Now you took a damage, so you can use this generate a mental resource right away. It's capped at 1, but you just use it right away, so there's no more counters on here. You play something, whatever. Use the other focus rage, draw another card. Then you have another mental resource right here on this card. That's like floating, right? Spend it right away again. And then like, yeah, so that's like 4 like resources, like every single turn if you double focus rage there. You do have to take 2 damage though, right? Total with like 1 damage each. But yeah, this is pretty neat. And if you take damage during the villain phase, this also can build it up, getting a rage counter on there. So you want to like probably take damage in the villain phase, have a rage counter, use the mental resource, and then focus rage, use the resource, focus rage again, use the other resource. So yeah, I mean, this is really neat. This really like buffs up She-Hulk's economy. And how does her card here work again? Legal practice. Choose, no, you have to discard up to 5 cards from your hand. This would be really, really nice if the legal practice said, choose and spend up to like 5 resources or something like that to remove 1 thing from a scheme for each resource spent. Because then you can like easily add on resources with this, like just 1 at a time, but like that's still pretty useful. So that does not buff this card up at all. What are the other cards? This helps with Hellcat to return it back to your hand. She's like a resource sink for that. So that's neat. Yeah, so Hellcat is really nice. The economy is just a lot better with She-Hulk with this card. That's a really, really neat fix here. I wonder what, shout out to Ritzy Rios, who is a huge She-Hulk lover. I wonder what she thinks about this card here. Ritzy, if you're watching this video, let me know down in the comments what you think about this card as a 1 card fix for She-Hulk. But yeah, pretty cool card here. I like this one a lot as well. This one's probably one of my favorites, I think. I think I like it more than Hulk one, just because I've seen the Hulk one before, and like this is like entirely new and different. So this is probably my favorite card right now. This is really cool for She-Hulk. Next card here we have for Spectrum. Spectral Shift. So permanent set of Recon, hero action. Spend 1 resource of any type. Change to your energy form with a printed resource that matches the resource you spent. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's super fine for Spectrum. I think that helps her out. It's fair because you're losing a resource, right? You're not gaining anything. It's not like a net, like, you're not gaining, you're not losing. You're straight up losing a resource to change into that form. So it gives you more like freedom to change forms with Spectrum, because Spectrum can often get stuck on certain forms. So yeah, this is nice. I definitely don't mind that with Spectrum. Let's jump over to her cards here. So she has the 3 forms here. And then force response, after you change to your hero form right here, you choose one of your form upgrades and you flip it face up and you change to that form. The way for her to change forms here is either flipping down to Alter Ego and flipping back up to hero form, or with the where is it, the Speed of Light here, where you can change your energy form and then draw a card. And she also has ways to change with these events here, right? Like with the Photon Speed, Pulsar Shield, and with the Gamma Blast. But like, I don't want to play this to change to like that specific form if I don't need to do 7 damage to enemy, right? Like if the enemy has like, the villain has like a tough, and like the min has a tough as well, or the min has like 3 hit points and like guard, I don't want to play this just to change into like my attack form to like attack that minion, right? I'd rather like not play a 3 cost event and do 7 damage. I'd rather just like, play the Speed of Light. It kind of like makes her clunky that way. So I think that's a pretty nice fix to have like this on-demand thing. And I think it's balanced because you have to spend a resource anyways in order to get that change. So very cool card for Spectrum. This one's also shooting up to be one of my favorite ones here. Probably still like the She-Hulk one the most. Let's just go on to the next cards. I don't know how many there are going to be. Next we have Valkyrie here. Okay, I'm excited to see what the Valkyrie one is. Delivered to Valhalla. Permanent setup retcon. Asgard traded. Hero response after Valkyrie defeats a minion with death glow attached. Put a soul counter here to a max of just 1. Okay, I like the ones that are just to a max of 1. So like it's just kind of like just 1 here. Hero action, remove a soul counter, change forms. Oh, I like that a lot. That's really, really cool. So you defeat a minion with death glow attached. You get a soul counter. It's only max 1 though. But like I feel like on paper, this may not seem like the most powerful thing, but you get so much flexibility if you can flip down here with any hero. I'm not sure about Valkyrie's alter reactions though, right? Like she has her identity specific ally, and I think she has like a Valhalla card here. Visit Valhalla. But other than that, there's not too much stuff for her to do in alter ego, right? What else can she do? Oh, she can detach death glow. That's like a big thing with her. So but I feel like if you're defeating the enemy with death glow attached, it's not going to be stuck on the villain anyways. So like you don't really necessarily need this. So I don't think that this is the main use for the deliver to Valhalla. No. Because it's just a soul counter that you can use on a future turn, right? So you just get the soul counter, then on a future turn you just use it whenever you want. So like you can flip down to Artigo and then freely flip back up to hero form and end the turn, in hero form if you want, or like just get like double flips or like whatever, right? So yeah, okay. I think oh, you know what this is definitely for? It's definitely gotta be for her nemesis, I feel like. Let's find the nemesis here. Because the nemesis cards has one of the worst cards in the game. Like the most difficult and like annoying cards, seduced. Attached to your identity, you cannot make basic attacks or play attack events. Alter ego action, so you can only trade this in alter ego. Spend a energy and mental to discard this card. So when Valkyrie has this card, she's like done because her kit revolves around like basic attacks or attack events. So when you get seduced, that's when you pop this soul counter here, change the alter ego, trigger the alter ego action, flip back up so the villain doesn't scheme you out. So I feel like this is just like mainly here to counter this, but also very, very powerful if you can like try to abuse it, mid game, like flip down, recover, flip back up to hero form with the soul counters here. So yeah, I like this one a lot. Also, man, I say it's like for every card. This is also another one of my favorites. I think I'll rank which one I like the most here, like after we do all these cards. Okay, this is the last card, I think. So for Wasp, okay, Wasp here. Quick thinking. Permanent setup retcon. Hero response, after you change to your other hero form, reduce the cost to play the next Wasp event you play this turn by 1. Does this make her too powerful? Because, like, she's not a weak hero by any means. Getting, like, a permanent thing to reduce your only Wasp events, though. Let's jump over to Wasp here. She's going to be over here. So let's look at her events here. So after you change to other hero forms, reduce the cost of the next Wasp event. Okay, so her events here, we got Giant Help, remove 3 threat from a scheme. So this would be 1 cost to remove 3 threat. That's pretty good. That makes this work well in tiny form because this is really only good in giant form, right? If you're in tiny form, 2 for 3 with no other effect is terrible. So yeah, this makes this good in tiny form and very, very good in giant form. 1 for 4. Yeah, okay. Pinpoint Strike can be 2 for 7. Yeah, 2 for 7 makes this work well in giant form. 3 for 7 is not good in giant form. Tiny form is just 3 for 8 with overkill. So now it's like 2 for 8 with overkill. Okay, tiny form this like pops the heck off. Like 8 damage for 2 costs and overkill. Okay. We have Rapid Growth. Oh, this card's really nice because it's free to play now as a Hero Interrupt, right? No, it's not. It's not. Because you have to use your basic power first. Then you have to pay the 1 cost for this card. And then you change your giant form and get +2 power for this use. But you have to pay for this before you're able to proc the hero response here because you haven't changed form yet until you actually play this card here. Okay, so that doesn't work for that card. This becomes cheaper as well. So it can be like 1 for 4 or 1 for 5. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. This one, I mean, I don't hate it. I think it's a nice thing for Wasp. I don't necessarily feel like that it's like super like synergistic mechanically with their kit, but I like the theme of it. I feel it's thematic here, like quick thinking. So right whenever you change forms, you get like that next Wasp event reduced by one. I just wish that like there were more actual cards in your kit that like worked really, really well with it. And maybe there is something that I'm missing. It would be really cool if this worked with it. That would be very, very cool. But yeah, okay. That's a neat card there. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it here. Okay, yeah, these are really, really cool cards. Huge shots to Word Unloaded here for these cards. Which one do I like the most? I probably like the She-Hulk one here the most. I think that one's very cool. Probably Hulk, the second favorite one. What else we got going on? I like the Warlock one here. It's probably not third though. I think oh man, I think I like Spectrum as a third one and then Valkyrie as a fourth one here. Um, Wasp is not my favorite one. And yeah, I mean, yeah. I think and then Adam Warlock. And then the other ones are like in my bottom, but like still cool. Yeah, I don't know why. I just always love to do like tier list and ranking stuff. But yeah, these are really cool cards, guys. So I highly recommend that you guys check it out. If you guys do like playing house rules and like want to have like some homebrew stuff, I mean, I think you can print this out. I think that they put like links here in the description here. So yeah, I mean, this is really cool. I'll definitely put the link to this Reddit post in the description of this video. So I highly recommend you guys check it out if you want to like spice up some of the heroes and like change how they play. And then you guys can try these cards out for yourself if you know how to like, you know, print them out and like make them like cards. I don't know how to do any of that stuff, but yeah, that is like really cool. I've seen like all the custom cards or like alternate art cards that people make. Very, very cool stuff. But yeah, if you guys know how to do that, these would definitely be some cool cards to do that for. So yeah, I think that's it for this video here. Let me know down in the comments which one you guys like the most and if you guys have tried these out and what you guys think about it. And yeah, I hope you guys all like this video and I'll see you guys all in the next one.